Okay, so who do you forgive easily?
I forgive easily.
Okay, can I just say something? Lorenga would cause the fight.
She does, yeah.
And then she will still act normal as if she didn't do anything. And then she said she's forgotten about it.
And then what about you?
I hold it.
It's nice to see that strong women can get together and still grow in business.
It's not your colour that will determine whether you make it in life.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got so much to give. You've got like there's passion. There's
You're educated. You guys are there's so many
out there to give to people, to serve people. And I think when you understand that the talent or the gift that I have is out there to serve the world, when you understand that it doesn't matter, you know, what you look like.
Welcome back to season 4 of M&M Talks. It's your girl Malunga.
And it's your girl Mwila. Welcome back, our everyday people.
Woo! Please make sure you like, share, comment and subscribe.
Yep, let's get into this.
All right. Hello. As you can tell, our everyday people, we have some beautiful ladies in the building. We have some wonderful guests. And firstly, I just want to say, I've known these ladies from church back in the day when I was a little younger one, you know. These are like my sisters. They were looking out for me. We're all Zambian as well. But yeah, honestly, I'm just so glad to have you, and thank you so much for taking the time to be here with M&M Talks and to sit and to chat with us. And I just want to say I'm really inspired by the work that you've been doing. I know you're going to talk to us a little bit more about your work in the beauty industry, just learning, working together as sisters. But yeah, so first of all, I want you guys to just say your name. You know, you could just say, and just how you're feeling.
Yeah.
Just say your name and how you're feeling today. So I'll start with you.
First of all, thank you so much, guys, for having us. Yeah. We are so excited, being here. And my name is Kaina. As you know, I'm one of the sisters, and I'm feeling good today.
Okay.
So happy and excited.
So hi everyone, my name is Faith, also called Luenga. So a lot of people would call me Luenga, but I'm Faith, and I am feeling absolutely ecstatic today. I'm very excited for new beginnings. I'm excited that we're entering new ventures and new seasons, getting to meet new people. I'm very excited for like literally just what's happening right now.
What's to come. Great.
And hello everyone. Thank you for having us, ladies. It's an exciting day today. My name is Louie, again, one of the sisters in business together, doing big things. We thank God, but we're here. And thank you, ladies, for having us.
Lovely. And then, of course, we have the fabulous.
Oh, yes, I'm back in the studio. You guys already know who I am. Mwila. And
how are you feeling?
Great today. Yeah, I'm feeling quite like reflective of life and grateful for life, actually. There's a lot that's been happening in the week that's made me kind of push me to that space. But I'm just grateful, very grateful for the space we have.
Exactly, and of course it's Malunga. Hi guys. But I'm just excited to talk to you ladies. I mean, should we get into what?
Icks.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys know about what the icks are. Do you want to explain like what
so we already know, the icks is, if you're something you're feeling a bit, irritated by. It could be lighthearted, something, that's just been pressing your buttons a little bit. I don't know if you guys have anything that you would say is, an ick.
And go on. I do. I mean, really, I wouldn't say like it's a bad thing, but I mean, as well as alongside the business that we do, I work as well. I have my 9 to 5, and I've been quite busy trying to juggle my my work really, and at the moment I feel like it's just been a little bit hard to juggle everything in one space. So I feel like a little bit, how can I say, just a bit hard to juggle life. I know like sometimes it's nice to write things down and do things like, like just to tick things off. So, but I feel like I've got a little bit of a struggle to tick my things off at the moment. I don't know if I can call that an ick of the week, but yeah, that is my thing.
That's understandable because it's hard to juggle what you love doing, and then you've also got to pay your bills. So hopefully what you love doing just takes over, and you ain't got to do the 9 to 5.
That is the dream.
That is a dream.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, ladies?
So my ick of the week, and literally this doesn't usually happen. Okay, so I've got 3 sons. So I'm a boy mom.
I love that.
I'm a boy mom. So my life is surrounded by football, rugby, games, all kinds of boyish stuff that you could think of. And I'm used to that. But luckily, I've got my own space. I've got my beauty room, which is the space of I can run away from these boys and I can just have my sanity back.
Yes.
But my ick of the week, Lou was sharing earlier. She was just saying that, she's trying to find that balance between the things that she needs to do. Now, my balance is not just the boys and the business and the husband, but it's also stuff like, so my oldest son is actually doing GCSEs.
Okay.
And his report came home and he doesn't really like maths that well. And he loves football though. He plays football at the school.
Every day.
All day, every day. Maths, not really. Maths is like, football is like, mommy, like he's watching YouTube like stuff and all this and the other. So his maths is not doing very well, and then he didn't want to tell me, so he didn't know how to break it down. So I was like, Mum, my report's come out, but I'm doing really well with other things though. And I was like, yeah, I know, but is there any way you want to improve? He was like, I just don't like maths, Mum. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. And I was just like, well, can I just see your report?
Yeah.
And then I saw the report and I'm like, I think we're going to need a tutor. And this is frustrating because as soon as I start looking for tuition fee classes and stuff like that, I went online. All I did was just find one place on Google that said, look, tuition fee, this and the other. I put my details through. I've been getting phone calls every single day, morning, daytime and evening from different tuition all around the UK. I don't know who you are, where you are, but you're just calling me, you've signed up for this tuition fee. And I'm just like, leave me alone. My phone line is going off because we've got clients. Now I've got my phone line going off that I'm thinking to pick up. Because it's like a tuition fee. I've already found someone. Please don't call me. So if somebody can find a place where you can just delete your details, send it over to me so that they don't call me again.
Fair.
That's all that I want.
I get
understand that.
That's all that I want, literally.
I love that. Okay, what about you?
Do you know what? I did introduce myself in terms of, because I'm a nurse. My background, I've been a nurse for 16 years. And I've got also a degree in dermatology nursing. So, you know what, I had to leave my adult general nursing to find a new role in dermatology nursing. So for me, just having a new role is just, getting to know new people, and also just to find myself how to get used to the role that I'm dealing with, especially with different patients and different colleagues, because obviously it's a new role. So I think just to find myself in something that I've never done before, it's a bit daunting. But you know what, I'm getting there, because obviously I just started this week and it's been hectic. So just moving jobs, new role, the business, it's just hard to juggle. But thank God, help my sisters, and just family really. So just being a new, I was going to say a new mom. I mean,
It's like you feel like
every day it feels like
you're giving birth to different things.
Because every day is like a new, you're learning something new. So being in the new role, it's something that has been, it's a different experience, and just to make things easier for me, it's just by asking as well, with, just asking people who I'm working with if there's anything that I need to learn, or just to adapt myself with trainings and stuff. So I think just be in the new role really for me.
Yeah, it sounds like a bit of change. And
It's
a bit
a
of
lot,
change
'cause, you know,
happening.
from something different as adult nursing to it's more like the same.
Yeah, what is
But,
it? Did you say
Dermatology.
Oh, so that's
Yeah.
more the skin,
With
isn't
the
it?
skin,
Which
yeah,
makes
which
sense.
Yeah.
It's been helpful with the business as well, obviously.
Yeah. I love that.
I've got some questions for when
Yeah.
you know more about like knowing more about like skin, especially black skin as well. It's so important to have like you know black women in that field specifically actually, and like I think with what you guys do as a business, it's like really important for us to kind of look at our skincare in a specific way. Actually, talking about skincare, my ink is actually about skincare. It's just one of those things, you know, when you get recommended or it's just something that's been raved about online, like a toner or something. And then you try it and you're like, it's not working. And I'm just like, why is it not doing what's on the tin? But you know, I think everyone has to just understand their own you have to understand your own skin.
That's true.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that's something but it can be irritating when you spend your hard-earned money and you
these TikTok trends and these online trends, you just start. They are easy to believe. You do end up believing them quite quickly because it's like everyone's talking about it. You join the hype and you're like, oh no, oh no.
The frustrating thing is you've spent so much money invested in that product and you're realising it's actually doing me more harm than it is doing me any good. So I think that's why it's important to understand your skin type, i.e., you know, am I combination, am I dry skin type, am I acne prone, am I oily, am I normal skin? Because if you can understand, i.e. if you've done a skin mapping, if you understand what skin type you are, not every product will actually cater to your skin type. And the fact that you're melanin as well even tells you that not every product out there is good. I mean, like Clinique, a lot of people spend so much money on Clinique or even like Clarins, for example. But no one ever looks at the ingredients to see, does this ingredient actually cater for my skin type or generally cater for me?
Exactly.
And also there's like parabens and toxins and things like that like you say, you see on TikTok and everyone's got like these little, and it gets you excited and you're like, let me go and get it because everyone's talking about it and it's a big thing out there. And listen, just be wise and be careful. I'd 100% advise skin mapping. Every person needs to do a skin mapping. Understand what skin type you are, so you understand what language or what you need to feed your skin. But
when you say skin mapping, is that like looking at different areas of your skin?
Absolutely.
Right? Okay, just to break it down, like what areas needs what attention?
So what skin mapping is generally is, you know, you'd go and get, for example, myself, I'm an esthetician, so you'd come and we'll do like a double cleanse, and then from doing that cleanse, that will kind of refer to us what kind of skin type you're. For example, some people are oily T-zone, but they're just very normal around the outside, or some people tend to have loads of breakouts and they're like, why am I breaking out all the time? They're more like acne prone, so they tend to produce more sebum, which is like an oil. That actually makes them have like, you know, that congestion in the skin and therefore breaking out and stuff like that. So it's important to know what you're feeding your skin, or, you know, even how you're looking after your skin, because, you know, for example, white people's skin, they tend to be needing more oils, whereas melanin skin, black people, we don't need as much oils on the skin. So a product that a black person can use once per day, a white person might need to use twice or 3 times per day, just to hydrate and to bring moisturize in. So that's...
I love that. We've got a couple of tips. I can't wait for us to get more into your business.
We'll give you more tips, girl.
I mean, I don't have many icks. I think my ick is just trying to balance life. It's similar to you guys. And sometimes I feel a little bit indecisive. I'm not really sure if I'm going left or if I'm going right. You know what I mean? So, and I'm not sure what's wrong or what's right as well. So I'm just feeling a little bit confused. So that's a bit of the ick that I've got going on. But it's just more... Sometimes when you feel unsure, you should just maybe wait and not. And
that's true.
What do you think? Like, if you're in a place where you're like, okay, should I make this decision? Do you guys find that sometimes you just wait it out, or do you act on it, or like say, you've got quite a big decision to make and you're unsure, how would you guys usually respond to?
Do you know what? It's so funny because I was talking to my sisters as well coming here. It was more like, sometimes we go through, just like what you said, you've got so much that you want to do and you've got so much that you're thinking about. Like, what sort of decision can you make? It's hard to make a decision. Absolutely. Sometimes for me, what I do, I like to settle with God first. I just have to go in my closet, pray, and just wait upon the Holy Spirit to direct me to what the Holy Spirit wants me to do. I'm not a type of person who likes to rush into making decisions. I'm not like, you know what, this is a good idea.
This is how I feel, I need to do it now.
It's good to be patient. Just be patient, and then when you're patient, you can't make a lot of mistakes. That's true. So it's good to be patient.
Thank
just
you.
Wait.
Are you similar as well?
I feel like I wait it out. I think I wait it out. I pray as well. I pray about it. I wait, but I am not a quick diver into things. I write down the things that I want to achieve, the things that I want to do, but I'm never the one that just dives in. I pray and wait, and if I feel a bit of peace about it, then I go for it. But because I've learned, I think I tried in my 20s, now that will show my age. In my 20s, I was someone who was just trying
go.
I tried everything. And I wouldn't wait. It's good to try.
Absolutely.
And I did. I tried fashion. I tried this. I tried that. I've done so many things, but only to come to the conclusion of, again, like the business we're in, and I think my 9-to-5 job, which maybe I'll talk about a little bit later. But I wait it out and then I act. After my 20s of making all those quick decisions, I've learned, I think, patience.
That's true.
Like Kaina said, patience is a virtue. It does help.
Thank you. And actually, speaking about patience, obviously you guys have been building your business. So KLL is your beauty brand and your business. Can you please just tell us where it started, just the feelings, the origins of like your story and just why and where it started.
So we'll take it back. So I come from a beauty background. I actually studied beauty. I did a beauty diploma in beauty at the age of 18. And then so it was years of like investing in skin, getting, doing research, understanding, different skin types, how to cater for different skin types and, things like that. So the anatomy, the physiology of like, the body, or even like the face. So it was very scientific.
Okay.
So that over the years, and then we spoke like earlier in the week where I actually wrote down to you. I said that, so the beauty is different in sort of different areas and how people see like people that are working in a salon. So like they're beauticians. And then there's also estheticians, which then that came in years later. So 7 years ago, that's when I did my licensing for that. And that's different because not everybody can actually just go out there and do, say, for example, like injectables. You have to understand the core, the science behind it all, and you have to be certified.
So that's an esthetician, somebody that might give Botox maybe. I get it. Okay.
Lemon butter fat dissolving, IV boosters.
Fat dissolving!
You want that nice and defined, jawline. That's what lemon butter fat dissolving.
Okay.
So
you have to be licensed to do what you're doing.
And so then over the years, where obviously I came from a beauty background, my sisters also joined me like 7 years ago, and we all decided to just bring. We all love beauty. We came from a background where we were looking into like skincare and makeup and
sharing
how
each
to
other's
do
products,
hair and stuff.
I'm trying to be nice about it.
It doesn't matter what skin shade you are. I'm going to see your matte makeup.
That was the staple. Back in the day.
So we came from that background where we shared stuff, we spoke about stuff, and what we also realized is we're really good naturally at different areas, whether it's someone's really good into like makeup or the skin and then we just kind of brought our ideas together and said, you know what, we sat down. We're people of faith, so we prayed about it. A lot of prayer went into it before we birthed it off and before we started, and we all felt at peace about, you know, let's actually bring this thing and make it a family thing. And so when my sisters joined, Kaina obviously comes from a nurse background. So as a nurse, she brought in a lot of her skills, her professionalism. You know, Louis works for the NHS. Like she said, she's also gonna she's gonna talk about, you know, her background as well. But we all brought our skills, our creativity, our professionalism, everything that when we brought it together. And we birthed the business. And so KLL started off as, you know what, we actually, because we tend to pray together. We were actually in a room one day and we were talking about how amazing it would be to just like have our own brand, you know, and because we constantly do facials, and, you know,
using other people's
products. We said, why not? We use products all the time, and we love spas. So on our treats, whether it's someone's birthday or just, you know, we just want to go for a retreat.
Soft life. We just want soft.
Yeah,
we just want soft.
We just want soft. We deserve it. It's giving. It's giving pampering.
We love that. Wow. And we go to all these different spas, and what we've realised, whether it's a hotel, you always find Elemis or, you know,
brands.
These big brands, and you're like, wait a minute, where is us in all this? So we wanted to bring a touch of who we are as personalities, but also we didn't want to just give people, here you go, here's a product. We did a lot of research, and to be honest, one of the research that we did was that whatever you put into your skin basically goes into your bloodstream. And there were women that will struggle with like infertility, for example, because of the products that you're putting on your skin. And you haven't done thorough research to see what is in the product. So all these, when you turn your little makeup or your skincare, when you turn it and you check the ingredients, look at all those really long names. Do a bit of research, just see what is this and where does it come from. So I think that research in itself is what brought something in us to be like, we need to change something.
change
this, and we need to educate.
Exactly.
We need to educate and equip people. We don't want people to come in our clinic and feel like, oh, they've just used something on me and I've gone home. We want people to go home and understand personal self-care, how to look after yourself when you get home, and follow up as well, aftercare. And so KLL came together because we're sisters. We were passionate about what was going on, and then we said, we're going to find a vegan-friendly, gluten-free, nut-free, natural oils that will cater for not just our skin type, but also cater for all skin types. So men and women, and different age groups as well. So we're talking about a youth who's, you know, just had a breakout of, you know, acne or, you know, spots. We want that argan oil, jojoba oil, we want that rosehip oil, that wheat germ
natural
stuff that is going to help with the inflammation. And understanding that language for us was very important, because we don't want to live a life where let's just give them what they want and make money. We want to actually help
make a difference
and make a difference in people's lives.
And do you feel like you've found that you've made a difference to people in that way? Like, do you have your regular clients that you can see that difference from when they started?
We feel like, actually, before we put the product on the market, we tested on ourselves for at least 3 months. We're trying it on ourselves to see the difference. There's definitely a difference if you can look at our skin. Of course, we've got makeup on, we tried it, and there's Cocoa Vanilla Lily of the Valley. That's a moisturizer. I use that quite a lot, and I found that my skin's just free from breakouts. It's smooth, and we've seen like people who've come and actually used the product, bought it. They've come back again because they've realised it's actually working for them. We've got good reviews. If you look out there, there's good reviews as well of the people that use our products. So we find that we're helping people. And like Luenga said earlier about maybe people who are struggling with infertility and things like that. We wanted to put our foot in there and just be the people that help out. What have we done? We want to help out, and we want to give back to people. Yes, of course, it's a product that we make and we sell it. but we want to still help in that selling. We're not just like greedily, let's make the money.
Yeah.
No, we want to actually put back into people's lives and
people.
help people. I think that's the main thing. Just helping other people, helping other women, men. This product is for everyone. So.
I love that.
And it's so important because it's creating a space where it's safe
Absolutely.
as well for people, because that's not an everyday thing. And you're also bringing that conversation to the table in the forefront, which many companies don't. They just want you to buy. And they don't want you to know all of the information about what's on the products and things like that. So it's so important that you're bringing that conversation of like, and that awareness for people to know. Because it's saving their lives in some way.
Right.
Especially as black women, we know how it can be in their chairs and things like that. Then things just be hidden around like healthcare. So it's so important that we're taking care of ourselves. I was looking good. Exactly.
And it's so interesting because it's like, so you work for the NHS. What are you doing in the NHS?
So I do. I'm an occupational therapist, which I just. Actually, I finished my master's recently.
Come on! All right.
It's not just beauty, it's brains as well.
Exactly.
I've just finished that, and it took quite a lot of. Again, my master's was quite difficult. I feel like things are difficult, but we push ourselves, and you just go and get it done. But occupational therapist again, it's helping people. Currently, I'm working in mental health, occupational therapy with adults. And again, it's very rewarding because I'm from a Christian background as well. I can understand there's certain things that are happening behind the scenes with mental health, you know. Just again, it's the helping factor of that. I feel like that's the gift that God's given me. You know. I feel like as long as I'm helping people, for me. That's an important thing. I've got like the job satisfactory. It does not feel like a job. So my gift, I understand, is
part of helping.
Helping people.
Yeah, I wonder if you find that like especially with black women, do you find that those kind of more caring, sort of nurturing, those roles, we sort of find ourselves in quite a lot? Like, would you say that that's a thing, or
do you know what?
Or you don't like to focus on that too much, or
as in to care for
people. Because I've noticed like with some of my aunts, for example, some of the women in my life, they do tend to be in these roles where
caring. Do you know what? I think for us, we've got background of dad did occupational therapist.
I was going to ask about
he passed it on to me. Mom did. My mum, our mother, of course, she's a midwife, and she did general nursing as well. I think it's just a gift from God, to be honest with you. Because you have to have that caring tendency. You have to care for people because we're dealing with vulnerability. People are vulnerable out there. Just like what Louis said, she works in a mental.
Health,
mental health. So you have to have the heart to care for people.
100%.
Because you know what, they don't know what they're doing. They've been affected. Your brain is just affected. So you have to have the love for people.
100%.
You have to have a gift of caring.
Exactly.
You know, so I think I would say it's a gift. Please, so people don't go just into something because you want the money. Because
that's true. That will reveal itself. If you just want the money,
you just have to have a caring. And if you could ask my sisters, they'll tell you, like, for example, if you say what, it's like we know each other. So if you ask them, what does Kaina have in terms of like the gifts that we have for each, what gift do I have?
Your purpose.
I would love,
What would you say?
In regards to purpose, or just the gifts
and
that we have?
Both, I would say. Like, what would you say is, with your sisters? Actually, I'll ask. You answer about your sister. What would you say their gifts are? Their purpose.
I think with Kaina, she's very. Again, like we just said, she's a very caring person. She puts herself in other people's shoes. She puts herself, she puts herself last rather than first. She's praying for you. She's doing this. Whenever there is something that's going on in your life, it's like she takes it on for you. So yeah, I think that's she's got that character that you know.
Yeah, you do know.
She will not leave you. She will not leave you hanging. She will not
It's giving big sis energy. It's giving big sis energy.
She's very, and Luenga is very like, she's got your back. Very, I mean, I can say she's very, what's the word? Not in the, how can I say?
Like
protective.
She's very, she can be very protective. She's like, whatever's happening for you, she wants to deal with it for you. Okay. If you're going through something, she will have your back. She will fight for you. If someone's done something,
she'll take over.
If someone doesn't, if someone doesn't like you, she will not like them for you as well.
I like that. That's a bit of me. Are you in the middle?
I'm the youngest.
Yeah, she's
younger. I was on the girls.
Out of the girls.
So there's 8 of us.
Oh.
4 boys, 4 girls.
Yeah.
And then from the girls, I'm the
child,
youngest.
though.
So
But
the
I've still got
girls.
2 younger brothers under me. I've got 2 younger brothers under me. So I'm
then
one of
you-
the younger ones.
Okay, but you don't feel like you're.
like the girls.
Yeah, out of the girls, you're the
She's
youngest.
the youngest.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, so I'm the middle child. I'll be considered the middle.
I
one.
see.
Yeah.
I wonder how was it growing up then as like a big family? Was it?
Oh wow.
I think it's funny because there's 8 of us and we all had like we're all in 2s, we're paired. So me and Louis were like twins. We did everything together. We had the same friends.
not
We
too
hung
far
around
in.
together.
Yeah.
We're very
Because
close
we're next
in
to
age.
each other in age.
Okay.
So and then Kaina also with my older sister and even like my brother there. We've all got 2s. We've all paired.
Your next friend. Yeah.
So do you need friends?
Well, guys, this is it. I feel like when it comes to friends, we're actually so close. That sometimes it just feels like we're enough.
Wow.
We're enough. We can tell each other secrets.
Absolutely.
We know it's not going to go. You're not going to
That's
hear
it,
someone else saying it on the street.
Yeah.
We talk about things with our husbands.
That's true.
Yeah, you know.
Very
So
close.
it's a blessing. Christmases are amazing.
Oh yeah.
Birthdays are amazing.
Yeah.
Everything.
I want to be a part of that. Can they take us?
You can come
You're already too, so you can come join us and make that too working.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been amazing, and it's just such a blessing, I think. When you really think about a big family, because it's like you learn to share everything, you learn to
Cook for
give,
everyone.
you learn to be there for each other. You learn the closeness of family, how important family is, and things like that. So I think we have that, and being from a big family has helped us. You know.
It must be, it must be a testament to your parents as well. Because I do feel like the way it seems like your parents were good role models in that
true.
sense that kind of showed you guys the way as well. Because I've noticed that with family dynamics it can be tricky. We've talked about this before. I have a big family as well, so there's it's probably there's 6 of us all together. So 2 boys and then 4 girls including us. So it's interesting because whenever there are like maybe arguments or the confusion about this or whatever, it is how do we come together? And if that conversation's not had, sometimes that can be a bit hard. You see what I mean? Because I don't
grudge there.
Exactly. Because I don't know if this is a situation for a lot of big families. I feel like for some, but I actually think it's such a blessing that you guys have that closeness. But I don't know. Do you find?
I would say that a family that prays together stays together. And that is the core of what keeps us united. We grew up with a mother that will pray for us before we went to bed, that will make sure that we bless the food before we eat it. We've got to say the grace before we eat our food. And it's the initial, not just mum and dad praying or mum and one person praying, and it's the whole family prays together. And I think we've been what is happening is a years of prayers
100%.
that has been cultivated through our parents, and you know, especially my mom being a very prayerful woman, cultivating that into us. Even as women, you know, she'll teach us stuff like, you know, the importance of like marriage, and you know, the stuff that other parents or your friends won't be doing. You know, living in the UK in itself, you have all these, you know, peer pressure and people living a certain lifestyle. And you're like, well, they're doing it, so it's very normal. Why am I not doing it? But actually, you've got standards, you've got values and morals, and you come from a background where you are not just groomed, but you understand that Christ in you is the hope of glory. So you're not out there to try and paint a picture and fit into society. You are who you are because you understand the values and the core of who you are.
Definitely.
So I think it's understanding your identity, understanding your purpose, you know, having the vision, understanding the vision that God has placed into your life. It's very key. So I feel like for me, and I think you asked a question earlier to say, how do you cope with like the, you know, the noise of life and being busy and knowing when to, the prayer is core, and also understanding what is your vision. Because a lot of people, if say for example you're not prayerful, you don't you know, you don't have a vision, or you don't have certain morals, you live a chaotic life. Everything fit in, everything goes, you know. What are the things that you stand for? What are the things that are very core to you and meaningful to you? Purpose. Am I living a purposeful life, or am I just winging it along the way, and someone's going to tell me, oh, maybe you shouldn't have done that? Do you know what I mean? So
exactly, because
the right parameters.
because even when you touched on mental health and things like that, in the world today, there's so much of, you know, there's a lot of depression.
A lot of
anxiety. I wonder how do you not take that home with you? Because girl,
it's real.
It's real, that energy.
You're right. It's that energy. But you know what? To be fair, so when I get to work every day, before I actually walk into work, I just pray for the covering.
Amen.
Because you're right. It's the energy sometimes. Sometimes when I haven't, I don't know, like just the other day, literally like 2 days ago, it was such a draining day that I probably had like a minute or so to pray. And even now, although that day was draining, I did feel that, you know, some people's energy was very draining. Very bad vibes. You need to be careful. You need to be You need to protect yourself. You need to know what you're dealing with. You need to know. It's very important. And even surrounding yourself with the right people, because like you said, that energy transfers. So you need to be like, okay, cool. Cover.
Let me block this out. Exactly. Let me block this out.
Yeah, you're so right.
Yeah, and then with the business, like let's say when there are stressful days, I wonder who's most likely to. Let's try and figure this out, Wheeler. I wonder who's most likely to. Let's say there's a really stressful day.
Yeah.
Who's most likely to be like, not shout at a client or whatever, but just be like, okay, listen, I need a break. I'm taking.
Try to guess.
Wonder,
please guess.
Yeah, you guess.
Didn't do anything. I just went.
You know what? It's so funny. It's so funny because, to be honest with you, Lou and Luenga, they're a bit similar, but in a different similar. You know,
in a different way. I get it. Yes. I get what you mean because of my sisters as well.
Tell on us.
I'll say. I think you know what? It's me. I love to calm. I love to be. I just love calmness.
Yeah. Let's bring the.
I'm the person who just like to be calm.
Ground.
So if Lou and Luenga are into it, well, not really, but obviously, you know, when we work together as a family or as just
there's always dynamics.
That's what
I was gonna say.
Yeah. So
who's likely to walk away?
Who's
walk away? Is it likely to walk away or likely to?
Yeah,
I can't deal with this.
Likely, I can't deal with this. Let me walk away.
Oh, walk away.
Yeah.
Walk away, or the one who's likely to bring the this is.
like
we can do the walking away first.
Kaina would.
Okay.
I just love my
stress.
Yeah, just like what Louis was saying, energy. That's just one piece.
So you're exiting. If the energy is not great, I'm out.
Yeah.
I pick up the mess.
Are you fighting fire with fire?
I pick up the mess. If Kaina walks out with her clients, I have to deal with it.
Okay, so you pick it up.
Okay,
and then what are you doing?
Go on.
You know what it's like? We have to be professional to be So what happens is we are professional women. We have to be professional whenever we are. So it's not like I'm just gonna leave it and then Luenga's gonna pick up.
Still,
pick it up.
you're doing a certain way.
We still work together.
We work together. We have to finish
100%.
what we're doing.
Yeah.
And then when we finish what we're
Afterwards.
doing,
Yeah.
then we're gonna come
Address the
together, and then
situation.
we're going to start addressing the situation. Yes, we come together and then we're going to address the situation. But obviously there are times when, you know, you've got disagreements or you should have done this or you should have done that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, but Luenga, but Louis, you know, I'm the type of person who, I mean, I'd say I forgive easily, do I, ladies?
No, they don't look like you.
No.
It's so funny what we might think about ourselves. No. Okay, so do you forgive easily?
I forgive easily.
Okay, can I just say something? Luenga would cause the fight.
She does, yeah.
And then she will still act normal as if she didn't do anything. And then she said she's forgotten about it.
And then what about you?
I hold it.
We will hold it for 3 months down the line. 6 months down the line.
No, I'm not that bad. It's not 6
No,
months.
with Louis,
You need to communicate.
She'll be upset.
Okay.
If you don't communicate with me and you're pretending that things are okay,
And when they're not.
I will not. I'm not
She won't
gonna
even do that thing because she's still holding the
I'm not
grudge.
gonna let it go. I'm not letting it go until we speak about it. I understand why did you do that?
Yeah.
Maybe you were upset, maybe something, but just explain. As soon as you explain, I'm okay.
Are you the same? Mila, yeah, what were you going to say?
I think I might be a runner.
Is it?
You run away. You love that you run away.
I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's bad. But you know what? It's so good that all of you have the different dynamics. Because it brings the result of the
It does.
situation.
The balance.
It brings the balance. Because you need someone who's going to mediate a little bit. Someone who's going to address the situation. Someone who's going to remind you, let's not forget what we did last time. So that situation can't be, repeated again.
And even someone that's going to run away.
I don't know.
Or just
The
walk.
one who runs away needs to be brought back.
I don't know about running away. Can I also just say
away.
something? Because our personalities are strong in its kind.
Yeah.
We also know how to resolve stuff. So I come from a legal background actually. So I actually studied law. And my 9 to 5 was I was working for the Ministry of Justice.
Okay.
And only 2 years ago, it was 2022. Yeah, only 2022 I came into full-time business. So I tend to pick up quite a lot on the business because I'm not in the 9 to 5. Whereas Louis and Kaina, especially Louis, she's so
Full on. Mine
in her
is
job.
very full on.
And so we've got different roles and ways of how to deal with stuff.
Okay.
So Louis deals with certain things and I'll pick up, general like business ventures, whether it's a contract that we need to sign up with someone, whether it's we've got an event coming up and I have to approach that hotels. So I tend to deal with like bigger stuff, and I think my legal background helps me with that. And as much as we're talking about different personalities and what somebody brings in, kind of is nurturing because of the background that she comes in. Louis can also bring in different facets of her gifts in helping, which brings the whole core and everything together. So I think as much as we're strong in our own in our own place,
But you're celebrating each other in the strength. Because it's nice to see that strong women can get together and still grow in business. It doesn't have to be, even because there is sibling rivalry sometimes. There is a little bit of, so not every family has that thing where, okay, we're going to balance each other out. Even if I've done a little bit more this week, I'm not going to start holding it over your head. Which seems like there's a maturity there, which is so lovely because you can still grow in business. Doesn't have to be, we're all strong, like a competitive thing with women. You know what I mean?
It's strength in our own regards. And, we respect each other's strengths as well. Like Kaina said earlier, we're professionals and we still, as much as, there's this conflict or there's this thing that we need to deal with, we still have to sit down and talk about it and iron it out so that we can move on to other things. Because business has got so many different aspects.
I can imagine.
So many different things.
Who deals with the finances then?
Well, actually, I think in a way we all do. But I've got a bachelor's degree in finance, money, and banking. Yeah, so I do use that aspects of things
to bring.
even like budgeting, for example. Lorenga loves to spend.
Things that are needed.
Yeah, it's things that are needed.
It's a need, it's not a want.
It is a need. But then I've always got to
check it through.
Yeah, let's check it through. Is it really worth it? Should we get it now? Is it a now thing or is it a later thing? Can we do it? Yeah, a different time really. So that helps. I feel like all our backgrounds, in a way, they've helped to just to bring your strengths. There's strengths from things that I didn't really want to use my finance anymore. So that's why I've gone and I've changed my career completely.
Okay.
But I'm still using it in this.
Absolutely.
In the business, I'm still using it. So.
Do you find that it is quite competitive with other businesses as well? Because I did ask that question about, especially being black women in the space, there's not a lot of, there are more black beauty brands and things like that. And how do you guys find that? Is that something that what's that like for you, navigating that? Or
do you know what? It's something that we've been brought up with. We've never looked at our colour, at our race. Even starting this business, I think there was one voice that said, but you guys are like black, and a lot of people that do stuff like, aesthetics is more like white people. You guys might not do really well.
That's true.
And we had to shut that voice down. It wasn't true because it's not your colour that will determine whether you make it in life. Do you know what I mean? You've got so much to give. You've got there's passion, there's
you're educated, you guys are,
there's
so many
out there to give to people, to serve people. And I think when you understand that the talent or the gift that I have is out there to serve the world, when you understand that it doesn't matter, what you look like, your race, your colour, whether someone's gonna listen. If somebody doesn't create space on that table, you go and create your own space on your own table.
Exactly. Create your own table, your own door, everything.
And crack on with it and make it beautiful whilst you're at it, and enjoy your space whilst you're at it. Do you know what I mean? So I think when we started, yes, there was a voice or two that did say stuff like that, but we shut that down. You can really see, the progression, the beauty, the growth. Wow. We can see how we've got, I think, majority of our clients are not even people of our, because we live in Essex.
Exactly. So it's different dynamics.
So it's a very
different race.
It's multicultural.
I love that because it goes against what people, the stereotypes of what people might think.
And that's just proved whoever was saying, or other people that you can't that kind of business is not usually for black people. But actually, we've been able to put our foot there. Absolutely. Praise God, and then.
Attract
the right people. Of all kinds, all races,
men, women,
different.
All races.
Everyone.
I love that. So you're based more in Essex, and do you find? I mean, the Essex lifestyle, because I'm not too far. I'm a bit, a bit of Cockney, a bit of East. So I'm not too Essex. Literally, I'm border, but do you find? How do you find the clientele then, the environment, and just do you?
I think the clientele, so the area that we live in or the area that our clinic is based in, is more, you've got to be a little bit more affluent to spend, because some of our treatments, for example, are more on the higher end. Even our products as well, for example, you wouldn't necessarily be spending a few quid. You need to have a little bit in your pocket.
It's quality.
It's quality. So the area that we live in, I think we're catering well for the people that are in the surrounding areas, and I think we're doing really well. For example, I went to a business meeting about 2 weeks ago. It was a sales business meeting, and they were just discussing the importance of knowing your client. Don't go and have a business in an area where you know that people won't be able to afford or spend, because it's not within their budget.
Okay.
So we're thankful, and we're blessed in that the people that we're surrounded by, our clients, understand what we're giving out, and for them it's understanding the importance of health and well-being. If you live with that kind of mindset or lifestyle where well-being is at the forefront, you don't care how much you're spending, because you know this is to benefit your health.
100%.
It's so interesting, because the environment really does nourish and play a part. You don't always think about that.
It creates a mindset as well. Because some people's mindset based off of their environment is going to be completely different.
Absolutely.
So you want to gravitate towards that, like you said, the clientele that matches with your mindset, with our mindset, in that sense of like when it comes to taking care of your health and your skincare, and you know your health, your skincare is within your blood, like you were saying before. So you know, making sure that is you're getting the quality service, because you don't want to get something
any service. And even just like visualization, because I was thinking this the other day. I moved. I used to live a little bit more in Ilford. Shout out Ilford. You know, and that was a time. That was a time, you know. And obviously, the area, I'm still like in my borough. I'm not going to disclose my address, but and it has made a difference just being in a little bit of a nicer area. It's not like the best area, but I'm not in that kind of that hustle and bustle or that kind of environment that sometimes did make me feel uncomfortable. And what I realized is growing up, we did move quite a bit, and then I just realized that sometimes what you see does get to you, and you have to go beyond
what's in your
what you see right now. Because when I was growing up, sometimes there was certain environments where I'm like, this isn't where God wants me. I know it, but you're seeing and feeling like, okay, there's a bit of struggle here, and that can be a little bit uninspiring. So like, how do you visualize and really just not look at your environment if you're not from that kind of you know, that environment that you really want to be in? Like, how do you sort of go beyond that to aspire, you know, for more?
I think it's important. I mean, kind of can answer as well, but I think it's important to cultivate a kind of mindset. What books are you reading? What people are you surrounding yourself by? Are you going to networking places? Are you talking to people who are of the same caliber as yourself? Are you the way that you think and the way that you program and do things? Because yes, I can live in you know, in the East or an area where I'm surrounded by what I don't want to see or have around me, but I can read certain books that will teach me, train me, that will, you know, allow me to have a mind that adapts to that kind of environment. All right. And then I'm also going to be going to like networking events, for example. You know, there are people out there. I think knowledge is power. And when you can educate yourself, are you reading things that are in your sphere, or even, you know, Christian books? If you're a Christian and you've got a core, the Bible has got so many scriptures about wealth, about abundance, about, you know, preparing your... Because this is who... We're a royal priesthood. The Bible says we're a royal priesthood. We're a chosen generation. If we're royal, if we're chosen, we have to see ourselves differently, even if our surrounding doesn't look as what it is. See that thing that... as if it is, that isn't, right? So you're looking at yourself in light of what the Bible says. Get some, you know, biblical books as well. There's loads of, you know, business people that have written books. Miles Monroe, big up Miles Monroe. I love Miles Monroe. Mentors.
Wow.
And also, you know what, it's so important to know who you are.
Definitely.
I mean, sometimes, you know, some people are confused of who they are. They don't know who they are.
That's true.
You have to ask yourself, just like what Faith said. She talked about reading the word, reading different books. I mean, you have to indulge yourself in things like that, you know, because then if you don't know who you are, anyone can just come
will tell you who you are,
and you believe,
and you believe it. So the most important thing is to know, what does God say about you, you know. Just like you know, in the Bible, there's a scripture, I think it's Jeremiah, where it talks about God created you. Before God knew you, He formed you in your mother's womb. And no, hold on. I think I'm before. Obviously, there's a scripture that says,
before I formed you in your mother's womb.
Before I formed you, I knew you. So you have to keep on reading the Word of God to speak to yourself. You have to speak to yourself.
Speak life.
You have to speak life into,
because I'm realizing there's so many. There can be so much negative self-talk, and if you're not around the right people, next thing you know, you're believing almost like the lies. Exactly, the lies. You know,
you just have to be careful who you also surround yourself with. You know, and of course there are times when I just go through Like, you know, sometimes your mind get attacked.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And what do? I just read the word. I pray. I speak to my sisters, my mom, and then they'll remind me again.
Yeah.
How are they going to remind me? Is through the word. They'll read a scripture to me. They'll encourage me, you know. So I think it's not also good to be an island where you just isolate yourself. The more you isolate yourself, that's how the enemy is just going to come. The more lies comes. That's true.
Yeah.
So I think just reading the word and just, you know, be around people who are positive, because you have to be positive. Yes,
Exactly.
Be encouraged.
Exactly. Because even when you are quite positive, sometimes people are like, okay, it's a bit too delusional. It's a bit too much.
Yeah.
Have you heard that?
I've heard that many times.
Really? And you never took it on. You're like, I don't care if I'm too much. Or did that affect you sometimes when you're growing up? Or?
Yeah, I think like what Kaina said about maybe the knowing yourself. You need to know who you are.
Your identity.
Yeah, in God, in Christ, because how He creates us. If we don't know that, someone else will tell me what I am or who I am. Someone will say, "Louis, you're too much." Or, it doesn't always have to be positive. It doesn't always have to be this.
That's true.
But if I know who I am, I can hear you say that, but I just shut it off.
Yeah.
And there's this thing that I play with myself, even when I say play.
What kind of play?
It's more like, you know, like when negative voices or negative people, I literally just like play tennis, I bat it out of, before it even becomes a thought or someone saying something. Because sometimes when you go home alone, you think about these things.
Reflect.
People may have said that, you reflect on those things. And people may have said things about you or things that they change how you feel about yourself.
True.
But then I start to bat it out. I bat things out. If they said a negative word, I'm like, before it even becomes a thought, becomes a seed, becomes anything in me,
That's good.
I literally just bat them out of my
Okay,
head.
so that's what you
And
visualize.
I literally visualize a tennis racket.
Bam.
Batting those words, batting those words before they.
I love that. Actually, I might have to take that.
No, and it works. It works, and I replace it because what I realise is even if there's a negative mindset that tries to like sink in, I try to remove that and then replace it with something positive, something that's right. Yeah, something that's true. Something that's true.
Because the negative is all lies.
And it's the thing is, the
Separating
negative sometimes is the powerful thing.
Yeah.
It wants to be the thing that actually cling on, put its claws in you.
It can be easier to listen to the negative sometimes, definitely.
Yeah.
So then, I know you guys, are you all married, right?
Yes.
Oh, we are married.
I
We're all married.
Yeah,
Any advice for the ladies?
No, you know what, guys?
I mean, how was it finding your your husband?
Can I just say, he who finds a wife finds a good thing.
Okay, so what about you don't think women, say if women want to approach, say if I wanted to approach her.
But you know what? I don't think there's anything wrong with that because actually, if you think about the Bible, I think was it Ruth? I can't remember someone who positioned
Ruth
themselves.
positioned herself.
So
there's
you
another
can't just-
scripture that actually you can position yourself.
Yeah.
You've got to be modest, okay?
Yeah, don't go there like, okay.
Don't
I'm not gonna
don't bring your girls
everything.
out because you want to be modest and you want this man to think, oh well, she's not just going there to flaunt her stuff everywhere else, and I'm just one of those. You want to carry yourself in a very modest way. I
Set
generally
yourself apart a little
absolutely
bit,
set yourself apart.
Yeah.
You know, don't just bring out your goods and you know sell yourself cheap. Do not sell yourself cheap. You're a woman of value and you're a woman of worth. And when he looks at you, he needs to see the worth in you and say, I want that woman in my home and she's gonna be the queen in my castle because of the way she presents herself to me.
Come
and
on.
also, if you present yourself like that to him, then he knows she's probably presenting herself like that to everyone else. And I love that about her. She's unique. She's different.
And can I just say, also with like social media nowadays, everyone shows their bits.
Everything, yeah.
Everyone shows, and I think men are even tired of
They're
just
tired.
seeing, you know,
They're all the same.
They've seen It's just out there. You know, there's nothing that's modest anymore.
And curious. You want to be curious.
You want to be curious. You want to carry yourself right. And to be quite honest, I feel when I was praying for a husband, I did do fasting. I prayed and I was like, Lord, I trust you. I said, God, you have the best for me. So I'm going to, you know me better than I know, and I know myself. So yes, I can have the list. I did have a list of things, qualities that I wanted in a husband. But I'm grateful that I had that, because when the man that I'm now married to came along, then because I prayed for those things, when I was talking to him and things like that, I realised, oh, he has that quality. He has this quality and he has that quality. And had I not put out that, any man would have come my way.
I was just about to ask, how do you distinguish?
Right in that list and ask the Holy Spirit. I feel like God did show me the right things. I think I probably aligned myself with what God wanted for my life, even when the list came, because I wrote loads of silly lists before. And then there was a time when I feel like God really spoke to me and said, no, take that down and just... I literally just put one list, had like 28 things. And then one realistic list, I said, okay, Lord, you know me better than I know myself. I put 5 things. I wanted a man who knows God, has a good relationship with God. I put a man who loves family, who will love me, who will be able, but if he loves God first, then he'll be able to love you. I wanted a man who's not selfish, not self-centered, and I wanted a man who apologizes if he's done something bad or he's put me in a situation I feel a bit, I don't know, that he comes and he's like, babe, I'm sorry.
Exactly.
You know? Not someone who's prideful. Yeah, pride was one of the things that I was like,
you couldn't do it.
I could not deal with that. If someone came and they were prideful, that's a red flag to me. So already you're crossed off. You're not the one. But then this, when I prayed and when I was speaking to my husband, before he was my husband, I was like, wow, he has these qualities, and that's the only way that I was able to know. If I didn't position myself in the right place and I wasn't talking to him and we got friendly like friends, you know, and we were able to speak on that level, but I was only able to know once I started talking to him. So you need to position yourself the right way, do things the godly way, like we said. It's like I'm sure men are tired. They've seen it all. You know what I mean? There's every, you know.
TikTok has it. YouTube's got it. Facebook's got it. Instagram's got it. What, you're going to be another one that's just going to come and fall
Exactly. And even if you're working on your faith, or like you might not, you know, believe in God as yet, or you're still trying to find who you are. I think if you take your time with dating, it does help you
to know yourself.
To know yourself before you give yourself away. But it is, I mean, we were saying this, that it's hard out in the streets, you know, like, because, we're both single. So we're both like, it's not like we're looking, but we're looking.
Can I just say something? I just want to say this because I was married before, then I got divorced, and then this is my second marriage. What I would say to every woman, because I got married when I was 20. Right? I wanted to settle down and have a family early. I had my little list. I was praying, but I knew for a fact that when I look back, number one, I was not mature enough to go into marriage. And number two, God needed to do a healing work on me first before I got married, because you attract who you are. Be careful that you don't attract a depressed, angry, broken, prideful man. You don't want to attract a broke ass. You want to attract a Boaz. Where was Ruth? How did Ruth position herself? She was in the fields. So make sure that you're also positioning. Don't go in a club where there's alcoholics and drunkards and people doing crack and all this and say, I'm going to attract a man there. How are you going to find a Boaz in that kind of environment? So position yourself right. Doesn't always mean that, to start talking to a guy, keep going on dates. Positioning means, Lord, do a healing work on me as well.
That's true.
Because magnets, when you take a magnet right now, put it anywhere near,
it will attract.
It's metal. It's going to attract. It's going to attract. So please be careful that you don't attract a broken person. So what I would say to a single me, 20, however many years ago, or when I was 20 years old, would take your time, find yourself and bring yourself closer to God so you can heal. Because you can be born again but still carrying some brokenness from within.
That's the thing, because I'm wondering, like, for you, was it, did you have that moment where you're like, why is this happening? Because obviously there can be so much expectation. Being a Christian, woman of faith, or, you know, okay, once you're married, you know, that's your last card. That's it. And like, honestly, thank you for sharing, because the realities are, there's a lot that goes on in marriages, I'm sure, and like behind closed doors that you have to, that you're probably working through, but you have to have the right person to work with.
And for example, if that person doesn't have the DNA that what you believe in, for example, you're a Christian and you believe in resolving stuff biblically, and that person says, well, no, I believe in Hare Krishna, or I believe in
something completely different.
Something completely different. I don't believe in resolving things the way that you saying that your Bible is. Just find somebody who's like-minded, obviously, number one. And when I'm saying let God do a work in you, I did what's called like a spiritual therapy. It was a Christian, so it's like you invite the Holy Spirit, and then you have to reveal the brokenness and the things. It's a very small room, so nothing like very informal, but it's very just casual. Like we're sitting down here, and someone will facilitate in the group, like, you know, the healing process.
Okay.
How to address those things when you are a little girl.
After the divorce.
No, that was before the divorce. That was before the divorce, right? And in the marriage at the time, things were cushed it up until I went through that deep healing process, and that deep healing process started revealing stuff, right? Okay. So I think what I just want to say to any woman now is do a self-search. Spend time on yourself. Invest in yourself. You know, who am I? Do I really like, you know, just doing a 9 to 5? Am I called for business? Am I called to travel the world? Because maybe you are called to travel the world. Is somebody who's going to come? There's so much more out there. And if you
that
do,
will come when you've got that place.
Absolutely, all of these things that will come. And for example, when I divorced, I realized, oh my gosh, I just abandoned my beauty and I just left it somewhere there. I went back and I topped myself up with other certificates, and I started going to the gym. I realized I've got a passion for working out. You know, you find yourself, you lose, in marriage you will lose yourself. Facts. So if you don't know yourself and you enter into marriage, whoever you meet in that marriage will help you find you. So you better find yourself now, ladies, before you go into that.
Before you go into that commitment.
And you need to know yourself, like Kaina said, know the core of who you are so you're not easily swayed. You know, I'm now a stay-at-home mom. I've got 8 children, just breastfeeding. Were you that kind of? Did you always see yourself as that kind of person before you came into the marriage? Because don't lose yourself completely. You've got a voice. It's true. You've got a voice. You know, and you know, God also has called you for a specific purpose. Exactly. And you have to search yourself right now. Fall in love with who you are. And how do you do that? Spend time with God. Pray. Find a community that can support you. You know, sometimes, like I was saying, we like to become an island, and I'm just gonna do me. I'm gonna go to church on a Sunday, go back home, and find that safe space. There are life groups, there are supportive groups out there. You know, we've also just birthed like a little small group where we're accountable to each other. We're reading Lisa Bevier's book, which I absolutely love. And in her book, it's a community. And some of the things that we're discovering whilst we're studying that in that book club is there are things as women that we've gone through that we've never dealt with, whether it's insecurity, whether it's competition, whether it's, you know, comparing yourself to another woman.
And I feel like for women, you're not always allowed to say that out loud, but these are natural feelings. You can experience jealousy, you can experience whatever it is, but it's like you're not allowed to be as competitive. Men, you know, are allowed to be, and it's almost more obvious, like, oh, we're playing football, you lost, I won, whatever. But with women, it might be like, oh, yeah, you lost, I won. Oh, you look nice. You look nice. Oh, what are you wearing? What do you mean?
Say it nice.
I like your perfume.
Exactly. You were going to say something, sorry, about
I think Loinga said it all. But you know what? Just with what you've talked about in terms of women, like, you know, they're always like, I think we're too emotional sometimes. We need to it's something like, you know, you have to be. I think it's all about women are too competitive as well. We compete in a different way, like that now shows your insecurities. You know, because you can't just come out and you just come with you come with a different mood, and you want to show yourself of like, okay, this is what I'm going through, so I'm going to show it to you. You know, so we have to embrace each other as women, you know, because I think we struggle with that.
I think so, yeah. Do you think, would you say that if you did have, let's say, a friend or whatever, and you felt like, you know, are they a little bit jealous of me? Or sometimes when I'm out with them, I just feel like I can't be myself, or let's say there's other people around and they might be trying to show you up in a different way, or would you directly
like tell them
that? How would you deal with something like that?
So you know what, thank God, like now I've got most of my friends that I have, they're all saved. They are born again. So before, probably back in the day where I was born again, but then I backslided. Yes, we used to go through all that competition because we're immature, and we would just compete each other. Like, for example, if you've got a degree in this, now you want to show your friends that, okay, I'm going to now do something bigger than you, or I'll just get myself a nice car, enjoying it, just you want to show off. That was back then, but now, thank God, all my friends are more. Most of my, I haven't got a lot of friends, you know. Just like the friends.
So you don't have many. Did it take you? Because I know friendships sometimes take a while. So did you find more friends later on, or did you still have some from before?
Do you know what? Back then, when we used to do things like, obviously, we've had a time where we went parties and clubs, you know. I mean, those friends, I don't know where they are. But now it's like I've got a few friends, you know, that we pray together, we come together, and there's no competition between you know, I would say 3 of us, because it's not a lot. I've got 3 friends that I'm close to, and we pray, we read the word, just like with my sisters, you know. So, I mean, I wouldn't really be open to such, because I'm very sensitive.
Okay, so would you say you're quite protective of your space? Like, if new friends want to, let's say, you know, a new friend wanted to be your friend, like,
how do they come in?
How do you your friend?
Do you know what? It's true. I am open. I'm open because I'm a friendly person. But I'm not open anyhow. I'm not I love to. I want to know you first. Let me know you. What do you do? What do you like about me? What do I like about you? I'm not a type of person who just makes up. For example, if I don't know you, or maybe we meet in church, and it's like boom, I don't rush things. I just want to know you more. And then if I see a red flag,
straight away.
Oh,
bye.
Back in the show, the water. Back in the show. Hot show.
Just like me.
Really, are you?
You like to say, kind of, you like to put Jericho walls. I said, yes, I have to.
But I think I'm a bit
very friendly.
I am friendly to actually everyone. I open up to people, but again, from a distance. So I think I have so many people that, sorry if this sounds a bit bad, that think they're my friends.
Acquaintances.
Because no, but still, like, I talk to people on a level. I think, like I said, many people would feel that they're my friend because I'm very friendly. But I still take a long time for people to actually become my friend. So I've literally got like a couple of friends. Like, I can count my friends because, again, it's that competitive. I do quite, because from when I was younger, I did have like a group of just girls friends, but then let's say we're all friends in here, and then maybe you're not in, for example, maybe Mwila's not here. Gossip. People will be talking about Mwila. As soon as Mwila's not there, everyone in that group starts to talk about Mwila. And then I'm like, wait. So if they're doing that, then when I'm not there, they're going to do Exactly. That's how I was like, okay, I left that group of friends after a while, because actually I did find, like, they were saying stuff that weren't that pleasant or nice about me. But I knew anyways, because I was like, they do that to other people.
Yeah.
So they're gonna do when I'm not here. So actually I was like, this is toxic. I don't want that kind of friendships. If I'm gonna be in friendships, I want us to build each other. I want us to encourage each other. I want us to embrace
Exactly.
trust each other. I want us to trust each other. If I'm not there, it's okay. Like I'm not gonna feel like, oh my gosh, I need to be there because they'll say stuff about me. And
do you think sometimes when like men come into the situation that changes the dynamic?
Oh, men are so. I feel like men are so good.
Men are lovely. Men are the best.
Yeah.
Can I just say, men, for me, because I've worked with men.
Okay.
You know, my background, especially like the
You got
environments that I
boys
used to
for
work
children.
in. My house
Everything is boys.
I've got three boys,
Yeah.
sons, three sons.
Yeah.
My husband, obviously.
Yeah.
And then when I used to work in my office, there was more men.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you, did you find?
And they just, there's never arguments. They're so
gossip.
chill. They're so down to earth.
Yeah.
The moment a woman comes in,
Dynamics change.
it's just
What,
a
the
different-
men or the woman?
No, the women, darling.
Yeah.
What we're saying is men are more calm, they're more reserved. They'll just get on with you. Like, you know, there's no headache, there's no...
Where do you guys think that comes from? Sorry to cut you.
Adam and Eve.
It goes all the way back. No,
I don't
you know
think
what?
so.
Let me
I
tell you
think women
something.
were just
I think
competitive.
we're
I don't
too
know what it is.
Yeah.
Because if like
Insecurities.
maybe there's insecurities in us that we should
just want to
really
always be on top.
Yeah, you want to be the one that looks the best out of everyone. You want to be the one that
more
everyone's
like
talking
it.
about. You want to be, and it's okay for. You know, Malunga to look better than me. It's okay, I can't look good all the time, but I need to celebrate when she looks good.
Do you know what I think it might be as well as we try and figure this out? Because it is, women are a puzzle and we're beautiful, we're nurturing. And that's why I'm inspired by just seeing this sisterhood truly, because even with me and Wheeler, we've been trying with the podcast. We'll get onto that. But I think even with women, sometimes there might not be as much honesty maybe, because what I've seen with men, like I do have a few male friends, so I've got a good balance, but I have, growing up I was a bit of a tomboy, so I'm okay, and then I've got my two brothers, so I'm okay around guys. It's not like I feel like I have to be a certain way. I don't have to be, you know, loosening the shoulders and, you know, flicking the hair. No. We can chill. We can chill. But I've noticed the way they squash the beef or handle certain things sometimes is a little bit more direct. Where I've noticed with women sometimes, it's like you're going round the mountain. So you can be sitting and you think it's all okay, but you don't know. But then we're still smiling at each other. So which one is it?
But that's why, for me, that's why I say to you, like, I would rather, if I don't know what's going on, I would rather communicate. I'm a communicator, like,
that's
like,
me,
let's get over it. What's happening? What is this coldness? Why are you giving me this kind of... And that's why, even with, I think my sisters, you guys know me, like, I like to deal with... I'm direct. I like to deal with things because why we...
What's going on? What's this
energy?
You're quite sensitive to when things are very off.
I can pick up... I can pick up that with people, but I would rather deal with it. If we don't deal with it, I'm not moving on, but I'm still not gonna...
She'll do the stuff, but she hasn't moved on.
So you can see it.
But I will say, I will go and I will... go on.
So how do you deal with it? Like, do you just say to them, I want to talk to you right now about how you did X, Y, Z on this day?
Exactly.
Okay, just like that.
Exactly. Do that. I'm very direct.
I'm not like that.
I'm very direct. No, I'm very direct.
I'm just gonna put a Jericho wall over you.
Yes, you're not gonna know. You're cancelled. You'll be walking past and you.
But then if you don't know, how can we resolve?
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is how
You just don't want to address it because it's like, you know, it might even
no, but
she's upset with you because she thought more of you, so now she's very she's disappointed.
I'm very disappointed.
But I think that's pretty like maybe we're giving people too much credit. Because we expected so much.
I think I can 100% agree with that. You've turned that thing into an idol because you're expecting it to be like God, because you should be excellent, you should be perfect, you should have known that my answer or the way that you should have behaved is like this. So there's also a part on us as women who need to reflect and say, you know, how would
What do we
God?
expect?
Like, how would God deal with this situation? Am I expecting too much of a
From
person
that
who's,
person.
you know, we're infallible, you know?
But you know what?
make
Sometimes
mistakes.
I look at myself as, hold on a minute. I'm not saying I'm always a nice person,
Yeah.
but I just feel like, why did you treat me like that?
You are a nice person.
And there's so many wives.
Why? What did I do?
Like that. Why did you treat me like that?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a nice person. I feel,
Yeah.
well, I am a nice person.
Yeah, how can you treat a nice person like this?
How dare you?
Why are you treating me like that? And then I feel sometimes I'm just like, okay, you know what, Kaina? It's okay, just put a wall.
Yeah.
Because they won't understand you.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like a
sometimes it just
protection
feels-
as well, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah, because maybe.
Do you know what? I never felt like that, but yeah, it could
Maybe.
be. You know?
Yeah, wait, I love it. I actually love it. Do you feel like that? Like me? Because I know you.
You know me.
Yeah.
Definitely, my blog list is very long.
But then I think with you.
My archives is also just as even longer.
But then you're similar in a way where you do have loads of
I will address. I will have a lot of friends.
You've got
I
loads
have a
of
few friends. Like close friends, but I think more. I don't think there's that many. It's a good medium of friends, I
Okay.
would say. But I definitely am the type of person, if it's gotten to a really serious, like I need to reflect on the situation, and I need to know, like, if this is a situation I really want to address, because I don't like confrontation.
Okay.
So if I'm getting to the confrontation stage, then I'm like, okay, this has really gotten to me. Because I can ignore things and let somebody carry on and then just kind of let it be in the background.
But you
and
know
then
that
it
there's
flames
something
up,
there.
maybe.
But if something is like they haven't changed, like I give them a chance to change their behaviour. But if it's not changing, then I'm like, okay, I need to talk to this person. I'll come into, you know, I'll say, this is what's happening, and like for me, and I'll say this is how it's affecting me. I'll talk more on my side of how I feel rather than what they're doing. Because I feel like if I talk about what they're doing, they might feel like I'm attacking them. Whereas if I talk about how I'm feeling, they might feel like they're seeing me. And do you see
That's
what I'm? Do you
wise.
see?
How does that make you feel?
Yeah.
When you do that, how does that make you feel? Because it's not about them at this point; it's about you kind of airing out.
It's true.
So
This is true.
when you've kind of brought it out, how do you feel?
It's a bit of therapy sometimes.
Okay, that's good.
That's really
Yeah,
good.
but sometimes it can also make me want to run.
Does it depend? Does it depend who it is? Because some people, I feel like even if you're taking that ownership and you're trying to be the bigger person, it's like you can maybe be blaming yourself quite a lot. You know, when you end up sort of apologising or taking on a lot,
That's true.
and then they're not really. It's like, okay, are you being
accountability.
exactly? So there is that line as well.
That's true.
But what I would say, which is really good that you'll kind of is when you address something directly, it gives space for somebody else to say, I can address something with you directly. Whereas I think if I'm kind of not addressing it, people get nervous not to address things with me as well. So it creates separation and undertone of like, something's happening, but what's happening? Do you see what I mean?
So you're kind of leading by that example in
But
a
it's
way.
a shift. It's a shift that will hopefully change.
And I feel like the whole point as well of talking is to change. Like you take on like what the conversation we're having today. You can learn something and just be like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't be so hard on myself.
Exactly.
That's true.
Be able to just address, you know what, this is what you did. This is how it made me feel. Like, can we talk about it? You know, that kind of thing. Because then it's lighter on you as well. And then you can move on quickly.
I was going to ask, you know, I've noticed that you guys said a lot about like being patient. Is that something you guys practiced growing up? Around like just waiting on things you see on your because
I've made a lot of mistakes that have taught me, and my list of mistakes are like, you know in a cartoon just like flicks out a scroll, and then the scroll just going. I've made a lot of mistakes, and I think over time you learn that when you burn your fingers, it's important to just have a salah moment. I can pause in the presence and literally listen. What is is God saying about this decision before I actually go ahead to make it. So for me, patience is something that I'm still practicing today. It is not something that's inbuilt. I'm quite a person that if I can hear from God that this is the thing, then I'm out to go and get it quickly. My personality is I execute. I'm constantly executing stuff. I don't like pausing. I don't like waiting. I'm like, okay, but I've heard from God. I'm going to execute this.
I'm similar. I'm a bit like go. And then things hit you later sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes just like what Faith, she's just said. Sometimes God can speak to you. What if it's next year?
Yeah, exactly.
And then you just made that move now. So sometimes that's why we say it's good to be. Of course, we've done something in our lives where you have to learn through your patience. You have to be patient through your mistakes. So you just have to say, you know what? Let me be patient here. Let me wait. Let me hear from God again. When does God want me to do this? Or from the Holy Spirit, of course. Or my sisters. What do you think, guys? Should I do this? Should I do this? But you have to be very careful who you're running to be asking for
wisdom or advice.
Wisdom, advice, or just to wait for that revelation to come in. So for me, I think, yes, I am that patient girl, because I don't want to make more mistakes.
But do you feel like sometimes you're just waiting and you do need to move?
I do believe that there's some personalities who are very laid back and maybe too laid back.
Almost sleeping.
You guys can get on.
I know. What are we waiting?
Okay, but why are you rushing? Why are you rushing?
Why are we waiting? Things happen. Because if I don't execute this thing now,
boy mom,
so if I don't execute this thing now, tomorrow I'm gonna have another thought of things that I actually have to do. So my life in my home is ask Lou and Kaina. My life is lists.
And then you tick it off.
Now to keep ticking things off. And if something new comes on, I'm going to write it down. Because I need to execute it. Because if I don't execute it, I'm going to forget. And then 3 months down, the line, I haven't gone to that program.
And it gets to you. When you haven't ticked it off, it's like, I need to tick it off.
And I think that's where our personalities sort of help and balance each other out. Because without list, you can't function. I.e., you haven't put like an agenda or a goal in place. So then that goal that you were supposed to put down, it's just now,
It's true. It's true.
Why? How are you going to know to execute that thing? If it hasn't been, put down, either written down and, kind of follow through. So there's personalities that we can help each other. I say, maybe let's just wait on this one for now. There are times where we do need to be wise and stop. But there are also times where I'm going to miss this opportunity if I don't act now.
Because like even for us, we're friends, sisters, working on this podcast and trying to build our brand and just keep doing what we're doing. But sometimes when there's personal things going on, it's hard to juggle the work stuff. So I wonder how you guys will.
How do you do that?
Oh wow!
It is really
because sometimes you want to take a time out because you literally are having like you're maybe crying like for that whole for the whole 2-3 days you've been crying and you don't feel like posting on Instagram. How would you do that?
That part.
But I think I think this is something that we're probably still working through. Because there's been so many things. Like for example, let's say when I was studying still, and then we still needed to do things to do with business. I'm like, guys, you need to give me time because I'm paying so much money for this master's. I need to not fail. So like, I pray that and I hope that my sisters understand that.
That's true.
Which sometimes it's like there's so many Luenga works on a list thing. So if there's so many lists and we try to give each other, okay, so you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, there can be frustration sometimes because it's like, I'm busy, but I also know that the business needs work. But I'm like, for now, can you just? But I say, can you just for now work on those things, and when I'm ready and I can do certain things, then please understand this is what's going to happen.
Okay.
And then we'll just give a lighter stuff to do.
I see. So you're just being clear about what you need.
Like my expectations.
Okay,
so
that's
don't
good.
Expect too much from me at this time because I'm working and this is what I'm doing.
Okay.
And thankfully I think that works. Although we can have, sometimes we do have the clashes because it's a lot of things and everything has a deadline sometimes. So it's like, okay,
built in and
this
exactly.
needs to be done at this time and this needs to be done. But I feel like as long as we express ourselves and we say, this is,
Really,
I'm not free.
What I can do and what I can't do.
Yeah, I can't do this.
Realistic expectations of each other is very important. Because I think personalities is one thing with all of us. We're unique. We're strong. We're
very different.
But we also have individual characteristics. Like for example, I'm quite a strong person when it comes to driving things and executing stuff and making sure that stuff is done. But I also at the same time have to pace myself. Lou and kind of very different personalities. They're more laid back. They're more chilled. They'll do things maybe when they can do something. Whereas even if it's in my inconvenience, I'll still execute something. So my personality is, you're crying, but you do crying.
Okay. So when would you like take your moment of pause and rest if things are like if there's a lot going for you going on personally? When do you take that for you? Yeah.
So most of the times I don't. I'm quite hard on myself. Yeah. I'm quite hard on myself as an individual. I think I've always been that person who's really like, you gotta just push through this stuff. Regardless. And I think Kaina and Louis said to me one day, they were like, how do you just expect me to push through this thing? And I think when they asked me that question, I realised, I was like, that's how I treat myself.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how I treat myself. I push through things when I should pause, or maybe when I should be resting, I push through things. But it's good in a way working as sisters, because not only are you honest and transparent with each other, but you also get to see not just your own weaknesses, but each other's weaknesses, and you help each other out.
Wow.
You know, I struggle to just enjoy, or to just, my mind is always like,
exactly, because then it's like, how would you relax? How do you make sure you can sleep at night? You know what I mean? How do you make sure those spa treatments are for you as well?
But I do one thing. But can I just say one thing that I do is I go on holidays quite a lot.
That's good.
And I also tend to go to like mini spa breaks as well. You know, with my husband or even with together. Yeah. So those little,
you find moments.
I find moments, and I don't believe in relax all the time or work all the time. I do work really hard in the times that I need to work. Yeah. But then I also, because I'm quite organized with my schedule, so in the year I would say, right, my April is holiday, my June is another holiday, even if it's like a full break mini getaway, even if it's like a UK holiday or abroad, or I can't really go on a holiday but I can do like a little weekend spa, always trying to make sure that that's scheduled in. So that's how, sometimes it can take too long because there's realistically a lot going on that we can't, the schedule looks busy, so I can't time out. But when I can, I make the most of that resting time. I don't want to really receive any calls. I'm not working on clients. I'm not having business meetings or anything.
You take that time for you.
That's value. Like, that's quality time. Yeah. Just rest. And that's how I recuperate to come back again.
Yeah, wow. I'm wondering as well, just a quick thought on this. When you are like someone that takes the lead naturally, do you find that you attract, well, let's say in your dating days, back in the day, like how can you attract, because basically... Let me just keep it real. Yeah. Sometimes I find that I attract the opposite. Like if I'm talking about, I know you're like, oh yeah, like in terms of dating, like you might not.
Too lazy.
Yeah, because sometimes if you're used to taking the lead, you can attract someone that is comfortable with you doing that. So how do you sort of sit in that role of being like, you know what I mean?
But I think, can I just say something? I think in a way, I feel like if you want to date, think about, have marriage as well in mind. Okay, because we don't want to take away, although you're like someone who takes lead all the time, you still don't want to take away the person's position. That's a good word. Position. Because yes, you take lead, give people
a chance.
Because I think like there's this Lisa Bevere book that we're reading in our book club. Called Without Rival. And one thing I'm learning from there is that everyone's unique.
Absolutely.
So you can be
yourself.
Malunga, who likes to take lead, likes to take charge.
Has my list as well.
You have your list and things like that. But what you need to know is that maybe the person that you get with doesn't like lists. They will get things done, but don't get you will frustrate you will. But the thing is,
do have some type of list.
Yes,
a bit of order,
in their head.
Okay.
And they think that, you know.
So there might be different to me, but they're still
leading.
leading.
They will still lead at their slower
in their own way.
But you're going to take away their personality. You're going to take away, and you might end up choking them, and they'll feel, actually, this is a bit too much.
Yeah.
I don't really want, and you're also going to be like, actually, they're too slow for me. But if you accept someone for who they are, celebrate the good things about it. Don't focus on the things that they don't have. Then that will just help you naturally.
Anyway.
Sometimes women, maybe we're single for a long time because we want to marry ourselves. That's not their right. You want to marry someone who's exactly like you, but it's not.
Okay, but then what would you say to the people that you think, okay, you got married quickly, are you settling, girl? Are you settling?
Well,
have you heard that? Like,
it could be, I know what you mean. It could be quick. I feel like even my husband and I, we got married quickly. So we were friends, got married quickly, did everything. So I think we got in courtship in January. March of the same year we were engaged. Wow. 31st of May in the same year we were married.
Oh, I love that.
And it's now 10 years later. And we're still married. Yeah. This year is our 11th year. So it's like you can go into something. It's intentional. Exactly.
So it doesn't matter how quick.
It doesn't matter how
that's your person.
If that's your person, that's your
guys,
person.
Sorry to stop you. Sometimes it can, because you want to know that person in terms of, because obviously that was Louis'.
That's my story.
That's Louis' story.
Yeah, that's my story.
So you can't just say, okay, I'm going to meet this man or this guy, and then in 3 days or 3 months, we're going to get married.
Yeah, but
you have to be careful.
Yeah, but that's true. I know, but it's also like, do you trust God? What did God say to you before that time? And then in our marriage, I was gonna say my husband's name, but it's fine. I'll just keep.
You can keep it private. Yeah.
So my
So in the marriage, were you like?
We've taken time to know each other, and we said to each other like, let's get. I think for me, when we spoke at the beginning, we said, let's take time to know each other. Let's enjoy each other. We didn't want to bring children straight into it because we really wanted to like enjoy, maybe travel here and there. Yeah. Just understand, have our own code. We have our own...
Your own sort of like language.
Yeah, we have our own language.
But then how do you...
laugh with each other. I can be upset in public and I just look at my husband and he knows, she's not okay. And he'll know to come round and be like, babe, are you okay? Is everything? Wow. You know, he knows. But it takes time to build that. It takes time. But some people want that straight away. They want that language and they want their inside jokes. My husband and I have inside jokes. They want that straight away.
It takes
time. But actually, those things take time. And actually, you're married, so you should know that it's okay. Even if things are rubbish at the beginning, let's stay. Stay the course. Stay the course, because over time things will change. Absolutely. And what we were at the beginning is completely different to what we are now.
Yeah, true.
We're mature. It's not everything that we argue about. If we were arguing the first year, those aren't the same arguments that we're having. Sometimes you learn to just let it go, and you learn they're completely different. And that's okay.
Yeah, different can be good.
Different can be good. Yeah. I don't want to be...
Because sometimes people do that when they're like, oh, this person, how? But then it's like, I guess it's not for them to understand. Like, have you ever had people sort of say, oh, well, that's not the one for you, or why? How did that come together?
100%. I have. And then and I get it quite a lot. Like my husband and I, we're best friends. Yeah, we are best friends. If you look at us, to compare us or look at us, like you think, how did they come together? That kind of thing. But we get on so well. And, for me, I met my husband in church. And actually, before we got married, we did a lot of church stuff together, whether it's, life groups, socials, caring for the community, that kind of stuff. And we did it together for like 8 years. We never, ever looked at each other in a way like, oh, my God, he's really attractive. If anything...
You just got to know each other.
Yeah. It was just natural. And it was just like... Same as Louis, like we also got married like really, really early. I think he proposed he asked me to go in courtship in November. No, he asked me to go in courtship in October. He proposed in November. We were supposed to get married in December, but I was like, whoa. And then COVID hit. So our wedding got moved from January into April. Yeah.
Wow.
So ours was like
Boom,
really, really
boom,
quick. Yeah.
boom.
And for us, it made sense because not only did he have a piece, but I also had a piece. And we're surrounded by godly counsel that also affirmed and confirmed, like, you know, this really does make sense. And for me, whereas I was married before, I didn't have a list. And I didn't want to have a list because my first marriage, I had a list. So the list
so this
worked
time
for
you
Louis.
were doing it differently.
I was doing it. I'm gonna heal.
Wow.
Number one, I needed to heal. And, you know, for me, I used to get a lot of attention in my single years because I lost weight, I started looking good, I started caring after myself and stuff like that. And, you know, people would ask me on dates and things like that. And I'm just like, I'm not ready. I knew I wasn't ready. I don't care how nice the person was. I don't care if he was an actor, going to Hollywood and living the big life.
Yeah.
I remember those.
The fact of the matter was like, no. Because you have to be careful because you cannot gravitate another wound. And I'm not gravitating any wounds.
Yeah.
And I already had sons. So at the time, I think my son was just born, one of them. And then the other one was like 3. So I was looking after my home. I was looking after my family. And that's 7 years of being single to just invest in myself.
7 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
7 years of being single.
I waited 7 years.
You said that
7 years of being single.
I waited 7
But
years.
that's what she needed. It might not be.
It's different.
But everyone's got a different story.
Everyone's got a different story.
Yeah.
You know, Louis' story works with her list and her prayer and her feeling. Louis' story works for her at the time because that's what she needed and that's the areas that God had finished to work on her that she felt, okay, now she's ready to enter in. For me, it was completely different. My first husband, I had a list. He needed to be an accountant. He needed to be really good at maths. He needed to just
do this,
this silly list that didn't even work anyway. And then when I grew and I became mature, I started understanding who I was, what I want to do.
Really
Do I like working out? Do I like staying at home? Do I like candles? Do I love a warm bath? Do I love reading books?
Who am I?
Do I like going to the park by myself
You
for
have
a
to be-
walk?
yeah,
Who am
yeah.
I? What kind of garden would I like to have one day? Would I go to the Pinterest board of like, you know, makeup looks, my garden. One day I want to have a house that looks like this. Oh, I would love to have a business that looks like this. And then I started creating the world and the life that I wanted to live.
And
So
just naturally.
naturally. And then when the person came, it was like, oh my goodness. And you know, the maddest thing was that person actually said to me, my husband now, he said, every single thing that I wrote about a woman was in you.
Wow.
And we walked side by side for 8 years, not knowing, not even a bit. And can I just say something as well, ladies? And this is actually true. This is my testimony. 8 years before my husband came to the church that we were in, somebody told me, one of his friends told me, please pray for this person. They're going through a very tough time. I was praying and interceding for a name. I didn't meet the face.
The name that you didn't know.
I was interceding for a name. And through my obedience in prayer, that name became my husband 8 years down the line.
You never know.
So all I'm saying is don't look at somebody and say, oh, well, they're just giving their life to Jesus and da-da-da. You don't know. Just be a faithful person in whatever God's called you to do. If it's just to pray for that person, if it's buy food for a next door neighbor, do that. In doing that, you don't know that in that house or somebody who's connected to that person through your obedience. Remember Ruth. Ruth was taken as she had 2. In fact, Naomi had 2 daughters-in-law. Yeah, so there was Ruth and there was also Orpah, right? They both lost their husbands because there was a war. So Naomi lost her husband and her daughter-in-law also lost their husbands. Both of the ladies cried and said, Naomi, we want to follow you. Your people are my people. So anywhere you go, I want to follow. Right? Cut the long story short. Orpah cried and Naomi said to both Orpah and Ruth, listen, there's nothing I can give you. I'm too old. I can't even give you like sons for you to get married to. I've got nothing to offer you. Please go back. Ruth clinged onto Naomi and followed her. And Orpah went back to her homeland, where she came from. Right? Ruth, the one who'd followed, was just obedient. Whatever Naomi told her to do, she did. Listen, go and glean wheat in this field today. She went specifically in that area go left, she went left, go right, she went right.
Yeah.
She was very obedient in applying the process of whatever was given to her by this mother-in-law who couldn't give her anything else.
Yeah.
Eventually she marries the richest man, who was Boaz, who owned, not just owned the land, but also was actually connected to Naomi in such a way where there were legal titles of properties and land that was connected to Naomi's husband. So we have to be very obedient. Don't just call yourself a Christian and you're ready to get married because you want to attract the right man. Go through the process, whether it's the healing that you need to go through, whether it's understanding. Can I just also say, single life is beautiful.
That's true.
Those were the days that I really discovered myself, and I'm not just saying this for the sake of it. I was single for 7 years, and those were my happiest. My laughter came back. Whatever was silencing me came back. My voice came back. I was able
your
to
dreams,
my dreams, things
and
have
your
died.
visions.
My vision.
Wow.
And be careful that whoever you align yourself with,
because
sometimes
they can cloud it.
So you're being with somebody who's depressed, who's oppressed, who comes from a lineage of a background where things
your life.
That's it. And God calls us to be a city on a hill. He comes to break that city that's on a hill so that He can show Himself. You want to do partnership together.
It's true.
You want to do. I'll lift you up. You lift me up.
Exactly.
You know, if you're praying for me, I'll pray for you. And don't just think, oh, there's something wrong with that person because they're slow. Maybe there's also something wrong with you. How did you manage to bring that thing into you? So maybe you're still in the healing process. You all think you're smart and you're quick because you can action stuff, but actually there's an inner healing
to heal.
How did I bring this guy here?
And that self-reflection is so important because sometimes we're wondering, oh, that breakup I went through, or this guy left me here, or I feel a bit lost here, and it's like actually you're pouring out so much to other people. You want to do this, you want to do that. You're trying to quicken
the process,
but maybe you just need to actually pause and say, okay, this is my time for just me, and it's going to strengthen you. But it's so lovely to hear this.
And I just pray. I pray for every single woman out there. Enjoy it.
Enjoy
it. Because it goes so quick. It goes so quick. And once it's gone for the rest of your life. You're now a mother. You're now a wife.
You've got other responsibilities.
Enjoy it and make the most of it. And even birth new dreams. Visualize yourself. Travel.
Enjoy time with your friends. It's like you ain't got answer to anyone. You can do what you're doing, so enjoy it.
You come back home whatever time you want to come back home because you're with the girls chatting away.
That's what I mean. But just before you ladies go as well, I would love to know, like, what's one personal just dream that you have for yourself and for the business? So what's something that you really want for yourself? And then something that, you know, you would love for the business that you're growing, KLL. We love it. So go first.
I think for me, because where I've started, I have the 9 to 5. I want to slowly let that go and then completely focus. So like grow the business, and that is hard work. But then the hard work, we do put in so much with our 9 to 5, but the best would be to put in your own business, because then that time you know where it's going, you know what you want to achieve in the future. You want to invest that, because it's true. Like it is a legacy, like we say. It's a legacy that you're going to live for your family and those people to come. So I think that's my thing that I want to, and just leave a stamp on earth. I don't want to just be known, you know, like, oh, I've worked this 9 to 5 job,
and then that's it.
So that's it. I definitely want to leave a stamp on earth. I worked hard as a, you know, woman. That I worked hard as a woman, and I've kind of influenced people in a good way. So I think for KLL, definitely, so that we can grow and people will know our names. It's not just going to be based in Essex, it's going to be global, everywhere, you know.
In
so
bars everywhere.
Everywhere, and people will know us, you know, and we'll play this back and be like, that day we declared that we did this.
And then we'll get you back on. What about you guys? You want to go next?
Do you know what? Yeah, it's true. Like what Louis said, you know, because obviously we are sisters who are who work together. We need to, we want this business to grow so that we can also help other people to
Yeah.
come into the business to work for us, you know, just for job opportunities.
Yeah, 100%.
And just for our brand to also go global.
Yeah.
You know, that's our desire. And also you just don't want to work for someone.
Yeah.
So like
The
I
rest of
don't know,
your life.
till you retire.
Yeah.
You know?
Expand.
That's not what our
Expand.
that's not our plan. But by God's grace, our desire is just to leave. For example, I want to leave. Well, I want to leave the job that I do. It's not 9 to 5 because obviously sometimes I do shift work, and I'd love to leave that. I'm part time. I'm not full time, but I'd love to to build our brand and just to put more effort. Just like what Luenga said, we want to help and just to work together and we want to be full-time into the business.
Exactly.
That would be super.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Yeah, so for me, there's the way that I see the business isn't just the treatment side of things and KLL. We're definitely going to expand in other areas. So we've got a business expo that's coming up actually on the 13th of March.
Okay.
So we'll be in the Brentwood Centre.
Okay.
And there's thousands of people turn up on the day. We're going to have a store. So we'll be setting up and displaying and selling as well.
Okay, from what time are you on the 13th?
So the 13th, it will be from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Okay.
And it's free parking.
Nice.
Tickets will be handed out on the day to the people that are coming in. And we're going to have loads of different things happening, but on our store in particular, we will be giving away free hand massage, free neck massage, head massage, and just displaying how our products work and explaining to people a little bit more about well-being and just understanding the brand and the skincare and stuff. So that's the one thing that we're doing, and we've also got a pop-up shop that's coming on the 29th
of March.
So there's a lot going on in March.
Yes.
So we'll be at the Marco Pierre, so the Holiday Inn in Brentwood.
Okay.
Essex, yes, and it's free entry. So we'll be having great stuff going on that day as well. We're going to be having raffles, and we're going to be doing like a few demos on the day and that kind of thing. So that's again free entry, guys. We just want you guys to enjoy.
Yeah, you can get involved, try the product. I really want to try it.
Get to meet us. Get to meet new people.
Exactly.
And in terms of like aspirations, moving forward, would like to go into spas. So we want KLL to be represented in spas, in hotels.
Yes.
We would love for us to just kind of grow. It's not just a brand that we want to sell out to individuals. We would love salons to, have
to
our
be
brand.
using,
boutiques as well. And at the moment, these are areas that we're approaching. John Lewis, Selfridges.
Definitely.
Listen,
You're
why can we
aiming,
not have
aim for the style.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's the future moving forward, and kind of touched a bit of base about it as well. We want to become an academy to teach and train women, give people job opportunities, so that it's not just, listen, I'm a beautician and I've just gone and worked in a salon, but we want them to come to us to also learn, etiquette, professionalism, and even just getting a certificate and saying, look, you can become your own independent person, your own businesswoman,
and have that like mentorship as well, which
is
so important.
Guidance and mentorship.
Wow, I'm so excited for you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you.
Really blessed us, honestly.
Thanks for listening. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.
We have been M&M Talk.